A warm evening to one and all. Respected Chief Guest of the Day, Ms. Muloongo Muchelembe, founder and CEO of Ongolo, former Director of Selection at the Rhodes Trust, Oxford, UK. Guest of Honor, Mr. Santosh Kumar, Deputy Commissioner, KVS Kerala Region. D. N. Rao, Principal of Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir. Mr. Joji Jacob, founder and CEO of STEAM Cube. Dr. Anish Kumar, Director of STEAM Academy, visionary educators and creative hearts joining us from across the borders. Welcome to the STEAM Ambassador Certification Ceremony, themed The Art of Innovation, Shaping the Next Generation of Studentpreneurs. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our chief guest, a truly inspiring global leader, Ms. Muloongo Muchelembe. Ms. Muchelembe is the founder and CEO of Ongolo and a former director of selection at the Rhodes Trust, Oxford, UK. She has also served as executive director at Standard Chartered Bank, where she led with vision and purpose. A distinguished voice in leadership, talent development, and entrepreneurship. Her work continues to inspire young innovators and educators across the world. She perfectly embodies the spirit of today's theme, the art of innovation, shaping the next generation of studentpreneurs. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in warmly welcoming Ms. Muloongo Muchelembe to address us this evening. Ma'am.
Thank you so much. So, good evening to our distinguished guests, the faculty, ambassadors, and the remarkable educators graduating from the Gold and Bronze STEAM Cube programs today. So, Anu, Poonam, Pavitra, Dalia, Vivette, Ashwarya, Priyanka, Vipina, Surya, Arsha, and Katimathi. It is an honor to join you today, not just to celebrate what you have achieved, but to look ahead to what you will inspire in others. I want to take you back to a proud moment in India's history. 78 years ago, on the 14th of August, 1947, as India prepared to take its first breath as an independent nation, Prime Minister Nehru spoke of a tryst with destiny. His speech was a pledge of dedication to the service of India. He asked, "Are we brave enough and wise enough to grasp this opportunity and accept the challenge of the future?" His call to action was, "We are citizens of a great country on the verge of bold advance, and we have to live up to that high standard." That dream was audacious for a nation that then had little infrastructure, few universities, and limited resources. But Prime Minister Nehru understood something profound, that self-reliance begins with knowledge, that if India can master science, technology, and the arts of design and thinking, she will never again have to borrow her destiny from others. He became a staunch advocate of science and technology as engines of national progress. He envisioned a future where technological advances would address the greatest challenges that societies face. And that's why the STEAM Cube program incorporates the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Today, that vision lives through you, the educators, mentors, and innovators who will shape the next generation. India already leads global technological companies. Satya Nadella at Microsoft, Sundar Pichai at Google, Arvind Krishna at IBM, Shantanu Narayan at Adobe Systems. Their success is extraordinary, but it is also a reminder that India produces talent that can lead the world. But the next great chapter will not be written in Silicon Valley. It will be written in India, in your classrooms, your labs, and your communities. Because India doesn't just need exports of talent, it needs ecosystems of innovation. And educators like you are the architects of that ecosystem. You're not only teaching science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, you're teaching how to think, how to observe, how to empathize, and how to create solutions rooted in the everyday realities of India. We're also gathered at an exciting moment, the launch of STEAM for Startups, a bold step to connect education, entrepreneurship, and community problem solving. Just like my old program, Rise, let me share 5 sparks of Indian innovation that shows what happens when knowledge meets purpose, and how they can inspire the startups that your students might one day create. First, Indian scientists have developed a quantum-based digital security system, generating truly random numbers to protect data and communications. This breakthrough puts India in the front line of next-generation cybersecurity. It is proof that your labs can lead global conversations on technology sovereignty. Secondly, in Bengaluru, a startup called Simple Energy has designed an electric two-wheeler motor that doesn't rely on rare earth metals. Think about it, you're solving a global EV challenge, not with more imports, but by re-engineering the problem itself. And that's innovation born from constraint, and that is India's superpower. Third, the researchers at IIT Indore have created a DNA watermarking technique for hardware inspired by biology to protect chip designs from being copied. This fusion of biology and computing can help India secure its hardware industry at a time when global supply chains are under stress. The fourth example is Zoho's Aratai app, a homegrown alternative to WhatsApp, which is redefining data privacy with India First philosophy by not using or selling user data for advertising. It shows that India can build products that value people over profits and still compete on global standards. And the last example is the Dental Technology Innovation Hub in Delhi, which is pioneering low-cost indigenous medical devices, proof that innovation is not just about satellites or software. And as we heard today, it's also about health, dignity, and everyday well-being. These are 5 ideas, 5 reminders that innovation in India can be bold, original, and deeply humane. But what unites all these stories is not only technology, it's imagination, the courage to look at old problems with new eyes. The examples today of the noise coach and hydroponic for growing vegetables were brilliant. The creativity to say, why not? And as educators, your mission is to nurture that creativity in your schools and communities to help your students see that every local pain point is a potential innovation opportunity. Now, what makes STEAMcube approach so unique is the decision to place art at the center of your research methodology. Because before you can build the right technology, we must understand the right problem. And understanding begins with empathy, observing, listening, and immersing yourself in the lives of the people you aim to serve. Art trains us to do exactly that. We often think of art as decoration, as the painting on the wall after the engineers are done building. But art is far more than that. Art is design. It is the bridge between invention and impact. It is empathy. It is understanding what users feel and need. It is storytelling, turning data into meaning and meaning into movement. So art reminds us that technology without humanity is hollow. It teaches us to see patterns others miss, to listen beyond words, to translate feelings into form. Art shows us how to identify the pain points, which are the human truth behind data, before applying technology as a tool for healing. And that's what makes STEAM different from STEM. STEM builds machines, STEAM builds meaning. And in a nation as vast and diverse as India, meaning matters. So let me share a few examples of how the A in STEAM turns science into service. In design and UX, a technically perfect app fails if users find it confusing. Now, art teaches clarity, color, proportion, and emotion, which are the very things that make people love technology. So a farmer in Assam, a craftswoman in Kutch, a schoolchild in Nagaland, each of them has unique needs, languages, and experiences, and technology must adapt to them, not the other way around. And that's where art comes in. In storytelling, whether you're pitching to your students, to investors, or explaining an idea to your grandmother, art gives you the power to connect minds and hearts. And lastly, when we design machines that think, like AI, art teaches us to ask, what does it mean to be human? When we automate decisions, art reminds us of responsibility and fairness. So when art and science collaborate, we stop building for people and we start building with them. And that is how we turn the creativity into community development. That is how we turn education into entrepreneurship. And that is how we turn teachers like you into change makers. So as you receive your certificates today, remember this: you are not just graduates, you are multipliers. You will return to your schools not only to teach what you have learned, but to ignite others, your colleagues, students, and other civics entrepreneurs to think differently, work in collaboration, and dream audaciously. When you mentor a student to build a small solar powered device or smart health sensor, you're not just teaching skills, you're building a future economy of creators. And through STEAM for Startups, students will have the opportunity to bridge the classroom and the community, the prototype and the product, and the idea and the impact. Each local innovation can become a business, and each business can empower a family, and each empowered family strengthens a nation. So the former First Lady of the US, Eleanor Roosevelt, once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Today, I will add, and to those who have the courage to teach others to dream too. So educators, innovators, artists, and builders, your own tryst with destiny continues. India is ready for your ideas and your innovation. The world is watching, and your legacy begins now. So congratulations on your certification, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for that moment of inspiration, a new beginning for countless innovators across the world. Thank you so much.